Okay, so now that we have gone over the basic introduction and expectations, it's time to start building some characters. We've got a few different questions that we ask, very basic questions that I want you guys to think about. First, what do you look like? Wes, what do you look like?
I look like a human, male, probably about 25 years old. He has kind of long, unkempt black hair falls to his shoulders. He has like steel gray eyes, kind of always dodging, looking around. Very, very much drawn in on himself, hunched shoulders and the like, withdrawn posture, but despite all of that, he's quite large and muscular and very tall. I'd say about 6'3". He has a few scars on his face, light scars as well, and he's dressed in a simple blue tunic, brown slacks, has a weapon across his back. You can see a scar peeking up from the collar of the tunic. And
I gotta say right now, I love how detailed you're being. We don't even have space on the Post-it note for all of this. So we're gonna have to make a couple new Post-it notes for this. But
I'm on my second Post-it, but I am still listening and typing.
Fantastic.
Scar peeking over collar is the last thing I put down.
And Vice and Devin, if you guys want to just like actually start writing on your Post-it notes, you don't have to wait for us to be listening, and then you can just like let us know when you're ready. We can get to you next too. So.
Okay, I will do that as soon as I figure out how to do that.
Makes total sense. So Wes, does your character have a name?
Yes. He goes by Fletcher Rhodes.
Nice.
Fletcher what now?
Roads.
Like streets?
Like driving on a road, but
I like it.
with an S at the end.
Okay.
All right. So, Vice, are you there?
I am indeed.
Tell us a little bit about your character. What do you look like?
Heard. So, it's a little Aarakocra, a little bird person. They tend to be a little bit more short in stature. Has the looks more
Pause
so.
for just a moment. Am I typing for this person as well?
You might be typing for Devin here in a second. I don't think he's figured out how to do it, but I think that Vice has figured it out.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just double checking. Sorry.
So, this individual is a short crow-like being. They are wearing a lot of some looser clothing, some hoods, a lot of belts with many pockets to keep all of their shinies in.
Important.
They have some real big round eyes. And let's see, what else is something that is interesting?
Do they have a name?
They do have a name. Their name is Cricket.
Cricket. I like that name.
Yep.
I'm screaming on the other end.
It's a great name, though. It's fantastic. So go ahead and write that into the green Post-it note so we know that it's yours. Devin, tell us a little bit about your character. What do you look like?
I am a moderately armored water genasi with a simple red headband and dark navy blue hair. He has slight Lichtenberg scarring down from his forehead onto his neck.
Does he have a name? Yeah, definitely. Does he have a name?
His name is Galileo Figaro, preferred to be called Leo.
Leo. Awesome. And
Right,
then...
So, sorry, just double check real quick. Moderately armored water genasi with a red headband, navy blue hair. I didn't hear what shape you said for the scar, but vaguely recall this character lightning-shaped scar running from face to neck.
Oh, Lichtenberg. It's like being struck by lightning. and having the starting from it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, cool.
I will post a
I
picture in
remember
the
this one.
Discord.
If you have a picture that you own, feel free to put it in. If it's not one that you own, we're going to hold off on that because we are recording this, but
Yes, I had it commissioned.
I
fantastic.
just realized I don't have a picture of my character before he got his haircut. I was about to send one in the chat. Damn.
There he is. I'll grab a picture and I'll put it in there for you.
Was there anything else you wanted about Leo's appearance?
No,
I have not seen this
the,
boy in a while.
the picture suffices.
It's a good picture. The
Okay.
picture helps for a lot of things. And then Borealis, if you are there, and I'm not sure if you are at the moment, feel free to just type up the information about your character on your pink Post-it note. I'm going to move on to the next page while we are doing that, though. In this next page, we're going to be talking a little bit about the life that you led before starting on this adventure. I want to know who you are. So if everyone can pull up their Post-it notes and start even thinking about and typing it if you're able to, and if not, we'll just get to you and we'll Ava will be a fantastic scribe and write it down for you as we get there. So let's start with Wes again. Wes, who
Wes
are
was
you?
green? Blue.
Wes is blue?
Blue, yes.
Yes.
Fantastic.
A few years ago, before Fletcher's life fell apart, he went by a different name and led a very different life. He was once a noble, a son of a knight, and his name was Quillen Cross. And he lived a wonderful life, was more so of a bookish
Pause for just
sort.
a second.
Oh, right.
Can you throw can you throw the name in the chat at all, or?
Yes, I can.
Delightful.
I figured it out. It's on the Jamboard.
Well, that is not how that last name is spelled. Thank you,
No, it's just
autocorrect.
cross, just not
Cross.
across, it's just cross. But Devin, now that you've figured it out, you can just start typing in your own Post-it notes as well.
I can certainly try as soon as I figure out how to do that. Okay, cool. Figured it out. We're good.
Yep.
We're good. You just recopy that.
Quillen Cross.
All right. So we had Quillen Cross,
Yes.
Was the
past.
son of a knight
Mhm.
until a few years ago. Everything fell apart, you said?
Yes. He blacked out and woke up with blood on his hands. He had killed someone. He doesn't remember how it happened. And to save his life, he fled and has been living under an alias ever since.
Okay, give me a moment to throw that down as well.
And while you are doing that, Vice, tell us a little bit more about Cricket. Where did Cricket come from?
Sure. So Cricket has traveled far and wide since, quote unquote, leaving the nest. They have always had a penchant for collecting shiny trinkets, selling the ones that don't quite make the cut for their own personal collection. So they have been traveling far and wide, obtaining things from potentially unsavory means and selling them for some extra pocket change.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
What question are you asking there, Devin? One is what taking place?
Just for Leo's backstory, like where do I
Where do you want
Put
to
it
pick up
in.
from? There's no specific point at this point. If we're talking about like
Okay.
where it is in relationship to like server events, I think we've decided that most things happen before server events tend to take place.
Yeah.
So it can be like very early. Think about when he was level 1.
Oh. Okay.
All the way back then.
He has had a life.
Do you remember who you used to worship, Leo? Back then.
Oh,
Pepperidge
Oh,
Farm
yeah.
remembers.
Oh, yeah.
oh no.
Pepper's Farm remember.
As he starts to cry. I'm sorry.
He did this to himself. No sympathy.
I didn't know that.
Things that you learn as you go along, and then you fixed it as you went along. But we're going back to the beginning, bud. Did you figure out how to make the post-it notes work, or do you need Ava to write it out for you?
I figured it out.
Fantastic. Are you on slide number 2?
You see, let's build some characters, and I see my picture and my my thingy.
All right,
All
you gotta
right.
go to the next page.
So if you look up to the top center of the screen, it says 1 of 5. We want to go to 2 of 5, and we want to put your information there.
And remember that you are the yellow post-its.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So tell us a little bit about Leo while you're doing that.
Leo is a. This is gonna be fun. Leo is a naive soul. He hasn't been on the surface longer than a week at most. He spent his entire life under the water in a temple of Umberly, serving as her priest.
So Priest
before
of Umberly.
making his way.
Fantastic. Go ahead and post that there under slide number 2 there. I'm going to move on to slide number 3. And on slide number 3, we're going to start thinking about like what skills you have, what information can you tell us about your character in regards to like what they're good at, what they're not so good at, what do they need some help with.
Since you are experienced with D&D, if you want to literally list your skills and stuff on your sheet, you could. But the main intent here was to think about, jobs that you might have had, hobbies, that sort of thing.
And a
that
lot
would
of
have
this is also
developed your
about,
skills.
yeah, this is a lot, because each of you have characters that you're building from, this is probably pretty helpful for you. But a lot of these questions are being asked so that if you don't know, if you've never built a character before and you just have this idea in your head about what you want the character to be, but you don't know what race they are, you don't know what class they are, you don't know anything about how the actual mechanics of D&D work, that's why we're asking these little questions, so that you can kind of build up that story and we can create that character sheet for you.
Mm-hmm.
So on slide number 3, go ahead and pull out those post-it notes again. We'll start with Wes one more time. What skills do you have, not Quillen Cross?
He is quite good at fighting. Being trained by his father was a knight. He knows how to wield a blade. But for the most part, he rather would wield a pen. He loves to write, and he writes a lot of romance novels, in fact. A lot of he enjoys writing, and he does it a lot. He, as far as skills go, I think those are really the two things that stick for him. He's good also at diplomacy and manners and that whole sort of dance that the nobles do, although he hasn't had much cause to use it as of late.
Nobility! Nobles!
What is he bad at? Flaws are also incredibly important for a character.
He's bad at controlling and managing his anger.
Yes, he is.
It can get a little out of hand.
Yes, he can.
He is a little bit socially awkward when it comes to like acting and interacting with people outside of the sort of formal noble standard.
Lord. The jump scare with a post-it note. Sorry.
Oh, no, what happened?
That was great. I was like, oh yeah.
Someone was resizing a post-it and it just like took up the entire screen for a second. It was a jump scare. Sorry. Socially awkward at interacting with people outside of formal settings. What else were you saying?
He I guess to say a fatal flaw is he's a hopeless romantic, but to the point that it hopeless romantic, but always for all the wrong people.
We love a man with amber tinted lenses.
It's always fun. Cricket, tell us a little bit more about what skills you have. What are you good at? What are you not so good at?
Sure. So, Cricket always has an eye out for anything shiny, but when not collecting trinkets, Cricket enjoys collecting friends. They are not the most skilled in fighting, but they are quite skilled in sneaking, which has led them to the jobs that they accept. But they do enjoy being a good friend who will listen, offering an ear or a shoulder whenever needed. But while they are great at listening, they are not as great with speaking. Oftentimes getting caught up on words, so they prefer using a more simple communication style of words that exude the context of what they're saying and their own version of a sign language through flapping their wings or posing.
Oh, that's adorable. So it's kind of like using gesture communication.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, Leo, tell me more about you. What are some skills you have, Leo? What are you good at? What are you not so good at?
Leo, in his naivety, will believe everything. It's like, oh, that's what y'all do on the surface? Cool. But so far, he has learned that he enjoys cooking in his 1 week on surface.
He would be a good friend for Laurel, then. She also enjoys cooking.
Yeah. I ran out of space on the sticky note.
Make a new sticky note. We've got multiple sticky notes because that's kind of what happens.
Oh, okay. I was trying to put everything on one.
Yeah, we tried that once too and just doesn't work.
Sadly, the post-it notes don't get longer.
No, they don't. They are very limited.
Post-it notes.
So far, that's all I got for Leo. It's been a very long time since I've played him this early.
It's totally fine. It's like building up what to play him so early is kind of like where we are with things. All right.
A note on that, actually. You don't have to play the exact same version you played before.
Also
you
true.
You can think of this as a new character doing new things.
Yeah, I was
so you don't have to worry about like
an alternative timeline kind of deal.
Sure, if you like. What we're doing with this stream is not necessarily canon to the server. If you write lore for locations and stuff like that, you should share it over on the server. It could be great for people to use and stuff.
And these are
But
not
as far as the
necessarily characters
actual,
that we're using for the stream either. This is literally
true.
just kind of learning how to build characters in general. And I feel bad that I'm recording this and that we maybe should have done a practice before I recorded this, because now people who are trying to figure out how to build characters are going to hear all of this and they're not going to know what they're doing. They're going to think
I
they
mean,
have to have had a character beforehand to even start, and they don't. But you can build your character however you like, and that's totally fine.
If it helps, a lot of what I'm doing with cricket, because I've played cricket before, but cricket was an entirely different class, different everything. So this is kind of like a complete recreation
Oh
of
yeah,
what I had in mind.
starting from like, and it's always good to kind of take an idea that like maybe you had an idea. A lot of people that I know really like different anime characters or different TV show characters or manga characters, or video game characters, but they want to make them their own. So you'll get a character that is already established in the world, but they have to figure out how are they going to take that character and turn it into something that now they get to control, which is kind of cool too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's been a lot of fun to do.
All right.
For me on that, I like to pick like traits of a character that's
Yes.
pre-established, like Ezio from like Assassin's Creed. Like, oh, he's really stealthy and cool and stuff.
Yes.
What other traits can I take from different similar characters and make my own?
What can I take? What do I like from this character? What do I want to change about this character? You can always change it up. You don't have to be an exact copy.
Yep.
All right. I've moved on to slide number 4. And now we start rolling dice. I have a very, I like playing strong games with strong characters. So I have very strong numbers that we roll. I would like for everybody to roll 6 sets. No. Yes. 6 sets of 2d6 plus 6. Minimum you can get is an 8 on anything, basically, but it's 2d6 plus 6. Then I need 8 stats.
You said 8.
Nope, 6. Sorry. My brain is not here, is it? But 2d6 plus 6. Roll that 6 times. And say it 6 times fast,
gotcha.
man. What's going on with my brain today?
I would struggle trying to say that fast. Where's my sticky note?
If you want to, you can. This wouldn't be an option for the people that we play with in sessions, but you can use Avray over on the Discord if you want. It looks like it is in the Iodrarune Festival's chat. So if you don't have physical dice to hand, or if you don't want to get out of bed to grab them, that is an
I've
option.
gotten out of bed.
It's like already out of bed. That's done.
Well, I tried.
But 2d6 plus 6, 6 times.
Oh boy, these rolls are something else.
You
What we
know,
did
if it weren't
before
for that
two-
8,
What we did before too is everyone rolled their sets and they were on the page, and you could choose any of the sets to use for your character.
So instead of rolling 3 different sets, everybody rolled 1 set, and then you could pick whichever set anybody rolled to use for your character.
One,
That way you didn't
2,
have to worry
3,
about
4,
somebody being
5.
like God mode while somebody else was like all 8s. Like, oof.
5, 6, 1. Okay.
So you got a 12, 9, 10, 12, 13, 12. All right.
Just slightly better than average. We
Slightly
love it.
better, but it's totally fine. Nothing wrong with it.
It's workable.
Not
I
at
guess
all.
I should probably
Those
roll
are-
with Laurel too.
I know where I'm putting that 9.
My dice roller really favored the 13s.
yeah.
I'll trade.
You can use whichever set you want when it comes time to actually build your sheet.
Yeah.
I got a 12,
Some play.
14, 14, 16,
Ow.
13, 15.
Oh, there's my dry brush.
Do you need anybody to roll for you, Wesley? Are you okay?
Oh, I got it. I fortunately have a digital roller on my phone, so
Fantastic.
I can let you know my boss stats.
Absolutely. Give me just a moment. I gotta get the post-it up. Okay. As you wish.
So we got 12, 17, 16, 13, 15, and 8.
And 8.
What a gift those stats are.
Indeed.
Really, really good stats.
17, 16, 15, 13, 12, 8.
Yes.
Okay. I compulsively put them in order. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. So we have 4 sets of stats that any of us can choose for our level 1 characters. You can choose whichever ones you like. You don't have to tell anybody like, oh, I chose that one, so you can't have them. It's like if everybody chooses the same set, that's totally fine. If people choose different sets, that's also totally fine. We're going to put these into your level 1 characters. Since you guys know how to roll a D&D character, I'm going to let each of you choose your stats and put them in where you like for your level 1 character. However, for people who have never played D&D before and they have all these numbers, like, okay, now what? You wouldn't have to worry about this next step because the DMs would take these numbers, they would take your information, and we would build your first character for you and show you, we'd put the right numbers in the right spots and we would show you what to do and how to do it. And over time, you would learn how to do that yourself so that you could do it yourself. And we would move forward with that and we'd make changes as we need to. But that's what it takes so far to build our first level character. We've got everything we need in order to build our character sheet at this point. So I'm going to close off here. And next, we're going to go play at the festival again, see what happens there. See you then.